Good morning and welcome to the IC Forest Clearly Weekly Analysis. Today is April 22nd, 2023. First, we will go through the 9 instruments that our lovely Selena has posted in our Discord group under the Swing Traders channel. And then we will go through the list of other instruments for review. So let's get started. So the first item is the AUD CAD, which is currently in a downtrend, but we have a weekly order block. So we are either going to expect a pullback to, which has already started, it has already started pulling back. So let's go down to the daily. And then, well, before that, let me mark up the 50%. 618 of this weekly order block. Okay. And okay, so we're going to go down to the daily. And as we can see, we have breaks of structure that occurred. And so price may pull back to the golden zone. I was looking for some imbalance in there. And then continue to the upside. So let's go down to the 4-hour candle here. The 4-hour time frame here. So as we can see, price is, although overall price is bearish, current price is bullish. Price, there was an imbalance here that looked like it may have tapped into. It did feel that imbalance here and then started dropping. So with that being said, price has not broken this low yet, this swing low yet. However, price is either going to fill the rest of this imbalance. Price is either going to fill the rest of this imbalance and then continue down to the the 50% 618 and possibly continue to the upside, or because price is bearish, may continue selling to the downside. So that's where we are here. Again, it is likely going to come complete and fill this imbalance and is either going to break the trend line and then come down here to the 50% and either continue to the upside or break this trend line. If it breaks this low, then you'll look for a pullback to continue selling to the downside. If we go to the weekly, we're looking for a sell at least down to this imbalance here. Okay. Next, we have CAD Chef, which was which is bearish. And we're looking, this was the last swing. So we're looking for price to pull back somewhere to the 23.6, maybe even the 38.2, somewhere in between there. Let's go down to the daily. If it pulls back to fill all of this imbalance, we have an institutional candle here, which was the last up move. Before that, before the daily fill. Sorry, guys. Fill zone. I don't want to put. There we go. Okay. So price could possibly pull back to the 23.6, 38.2, or the 50%. This was the institutional candle before this break of structure, and continue selling down to at least the -27, or continue on down to the -61. So we're talking about a possible 158 pips or 234 pips. EuroCAD is a weekly bullish order block. Okay. And we currently are bullish. As you can see here, we're currently bullish. We have a bullish order block. This was, so if we measure, this is one of Todd's, there's no wick on this candle, so we're definitely expecting some type of pullback at some point. If we go down to the daily, price came and filled in this imbalance. Let me zoom in a little. Price came and filled in this imbalance and moved past it. So we're definitely expecting some type of pullback. So with that being said, we're looking for price to pull back and either retest these initial breaks, possibly fill in this imbalance, or fill in this imbalance. We see, from what we can see now, price is going to remain bullish. Price did not break this last swing low. The price pushed up, pulled back to the, and let me erase that. So price, this was the last swing, right? The price pushed up, pulled back to our our 78.6. And so we're looking for price to continue at least to the -27. So we should expect some type of pullback and then continue to the -27, possibly the -618, which would be in line with this area of supply. Okay. So it'll be in line with the area of supply. And then we can possibly look for some pullback at that point. But right now, we're looking for a pullback to test. You see, they're going to come back and test the wick. It's going to either come back and test the body, of that order block. I don't think it will come back and test. um, It could come back and test it. So we have our swing low right here, right? And it could come back and test that area, but it's likely just going to come back and test one of these areas right here. Okay, based on the daily. So I would more than count on price coming back to fill this imbalance. So you can set your alert. Once you get an alert, you can um, look for a price to start breaking structure and get in for the continuation. Okay, we have um, GBP CAD, which is a weekly bullish order block. Prices overall, prices currently, well, overall it's bearish, but price is currently bullish at the moment. And we have a weekly order block. So we're looking for price to come back and either retest this. We're going to retest either the body, or we're going to come back to, if you want to fib, and here's another candle that has a that barely has a wick, so we can almost expect some type of pullback. It may clear this high first and then pull back, but I would say you would definitely want to start watching for breaks of structure to then go back to the downside, or for price to pull back into the 618 zone. If we go to the daily, and that is in confluence with filling this imbalance. So I would definitely expect for price to pull back soon. As you can see, it is in a daily order block, in the wicks of a daily order block. So I would be looking for price to break, to start pulling back soon. If we go to the hour price has not started breaking structure yet. So once it starts breaking these lows, oops, once it starts breaking these lows, then I would say wait for a pullback to continue to your golden zone. Or for now, at least to this zone is probably going to pull back. But yeah, I would say once it starts breaking these lows here, you can get in on the pullback and continue down to the golden zone. That is GBP CAD, GBP NZD. We had a weekly I believe this is one of Todd's easy money strategy trades. You're currently in an order block. You're in the wicks of an order block. So price is likely going to start pulling back. And let's go back to the weekly. And we're going to mark up this weekly candle. We're going to mark up the 50% 618. Okay. This pair has been ranging for some time now. So we're talking, it's currently at a zone where price is ranging. Okay. All right. So that being said, we're looking for price to start breaking to the downside. I think it may even break down further um, than the golden zone, but at least you can take it to the golden zone once it starts creating breaks of structure. And we're talking at least 143 pips. So once price starts breaking, this is on the 1 hour, you have a break here. And I mean, you have an order block there that can be violated. Um, so if it breaks here, you wait for the pullback and then at least sell it down to your golden zone. But because it's in the current, it's in our POI, we're looking for some type of reaction at this point. Um, again, because price is overall bullish, we're definitely looking, if it breaks, I would personally like to see it break the trend line and then break one of our lows and then definitely take it down. Matter of fact, like I said, I think it's going to go down further, but I think it will definitely go to the golden zone. So that's what I would be watching for in this zone here, waiting for a break of structure. Next, we have GBP USD, which is a weekly some type of order block. This is not really engulfing because this candle is not engulfing this candle, but we are looking at the wicks of this somewhat order, well, this order block, I won't say somewhat, this is an order block. So price is likely going to continue up to this zone. However, price broke with these highs. I'm definitely looking for, so it wicked these lows and then it wicked these highs. So I'm definitely looking for some type of movement to the downside. So this was our last macro swing. So let's do this. Prices at the 50%, possibly to 618. And this may come up to, now that I'm looking at it, but it would definitely have to break through this macro level. You have imbalances up in here. You have a supply zone right here. So price could possibly continue up before selling back down to the downside. Let's go to the daily. Let's see, price came and filled in this imbalance here. Price came and filled in this imbalance and possibly breaking structure to the downside. I will say it broke a trend line here. This was the last swing. This was the last swing here. Or if you want to just map up these, it broke the trend line, tapped, but it has not broken this swing low yet. So, because price can still, even after breaking the trend line, price can come into this zone right here, which is this order block, and continue to the upside. So I wouldn't say put in for a sell yet. But I would definitely be on the watch for price to come into the zone and continue to the upside. Buy until you can't buy anymore. So that would be my guess, that it would come here, especially based off of the weekly order block, that it would come into the zone and buy up. So we're talking GBP USD, that's like 54 pips. I'm sure you can go down to smaller time frames to narrow that down a little bit. But it is even with the 54 pips, it is a 5% trade that can play out for the rest of the week. So as GBP USD, we have NZD JPY, which is a weekly bearish order block. So our last swing, so we can use this as our last swing high. Well, let me just do this because it's creating a key level here, right? Creating a key level here. So I would definitely go in for a sell once it broke these lows here. Once it broke this zone here, I would then go in for a sell. Because one, we're on a weekly, here's a bullish order block. So price can come into this zone, come into this bullish order block, and continue buying up to fill this imbalance. And we're talking 568 pips. So I personally will not go in for a sell until it breaks this key level. And when that happens, then you can definitely go in for sales to there's an imbalance here. So we're talking from here to here is about 237 pips, 230 pips. So basically it's the retest of this initial breakout structure. You can sell it back down to this retest here, because this is the actual swing right here. So it can come back in here and then continue buying up. And that's on a higher time frame, but on the weekly right now, I would say you can definitely sell it down to this zone, which is about 74, 75, maybe 100 pips, 120 some plus pips. But definitely, I would not be trying to sell it down to here, because You have a weekly order block here, which could buy back up, okay? USD CAD, we have a weekly bullish order block. Price is tapped into this weekly order block and then went bullish. Okay. I like to see a break of structure. I like to see a candle close for a break of structure. So I would definitely be on the lookout for a daily break of this zone and then a pullback to retest either this break here or fill in this imbalance if there's any, depending on what happens the next couple of days. Or it may even come back and fill in this imbalance and then continue up to this area of supply. Okay. So that's what I see for the week. And then on last but not least, we have a weekly I'm not sure what this is. So we have a weekly, we have price that's currently in a weekly order block. Okay. So and because price has been bullish, I'm looking for price to come into, this would be my POI, to then buy up, to continue buying up. Of course, if price breaks this zone here, then you will be looking for sales to the downside. But as of right now, because price is bullish, this was an impulse move, then you have the correction, and now you're looking for an impulse or a continuation. And price is likely going, there's either an area of supply in this wick somewhere, or it may come up and fill, there may be some area of supply up in this wick right here. So with that being said, I will definitely look for, I'm expecting sales because price broke this low here, right? So price broke that low and then pulled back, did not break this high. But if we look at, let me just pull out my fib here. So price pulled back to the 88. So we should be expecting, well, it did drop. So there was a sale, as you're aware, on Friday. There was a sale. There was a minor level break here. But like I said, we have a weekly order block, so price could come in here and continue to the upside, or let me go to the 4-hour. Price can come in here, buy back up in here to the imbalance, and then start selling. But for right now, it's kind of, if you miss this move, then I would say wait for price to come into this area of demand for a possible continuation to the upside. Okay. I was going to go through the rest of the pairs, but we're just going to do these for this week. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to IC Forex Clearly, and join our Discord. Thank you for listening and see you next week.